Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here with the brand new Traxxas Aton. Awesome brushless quadcopter. It's got a sport mode, and I've got the plus version, which means it has some landing legs and a 2-axis gimbal, so you can use it as a camera quad as well. But I'm just going to do a quick little maiden flight with on-the-fly review, and I'm just going to fly it here in sport mode. And so I don't know if you just saw that, but the 4 LEDs across the back bar there are all lit up solid, so that means it's got its GPS satellites and its return to home location. But I'm not gonna fly with GPS. I'm just gonna do regular sport flying in fast mode. And one thing I wanted to show, when it's not armed, like if you crashed it somewhere and it disarmed, if you hold the stick down to the right, the quad itself beeps. That's coming out of the quad. So as long as you're holding the right stick down to the right, it lets out that beep so you can find it. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, it starts out in film mode, which has like an altitude hold, and so I don't want that. So I'm going to click the right stick, and I'm going to change to fast mode. And so that's going to just be normal manual flying with the the 6-axis level accelerometers, all that kind of stuff. So that should be nice and sporty. And now I'm going to hit this blinking button to arm it, and so the motors will start spinning. There we go. And now she's ready to go. And this is literally my maiden flight. I have not flown this. Whoa, good yaw rate. I hovered it in the living room just to make sure it was working, but I have not. This is literally my first flight with it. Well, it feels like the Alias. A little twitchy there going into the yaw. Let's bring it over here over the grass. Now this is the first brushless quadcopter with automatic flips. Left bumper and then move the stick in the direction you want to flip. Really nice. And it does diagonal flips just like the Alias. Oh my gosh, those are so cool. I love diagonal flips. I don't know why more quads don't do that. Looks like it's having a little bit of did some weird yawing there coming out of the flip, but not bad otherwise. It feels a lot like the Alias in flight, even though it's brushless. It kind of has the same, control and feel, flight characteristics. Definitely sporty. Yeah, this thing's got some power and speed. Good yaw rate. Get a funnel going. Not bad at all. And it's got those nice big bright LED arms just like the Alias. So it should be a pretty good night flyer as well. Right now, the stock form it comes with, it has red in the front and white in the back, which I'm not a big fan of, but they sell a bunch of different colors, so I've got all my favorite green, canopy, and blades. Well, blades aren't in stock yet, but I've got the LED bars and canopy and green, and I'm going to put green in the front and red in the back with the props and LEDs, so I think that should look pretty cool. Blades are not in stock yet, though, only the LED bars and canopy. Oh my gosh, this thing feels really nice. I don't think it's not quite as dialed in feeling as the 200 QX. It's still a little bit twitchy and kind of a little floaty like the Alias is, but that's not really a bad thing. It's just a little bit different. I mean, the 200 QX from Blade is still my favorite flyer. I think just the power to weight ratio and their flight controller just all is so locked in. This feels a little bit more floaty, but it definitely flies nice. And if you like how the Alias flies, this is basically, it feels like I'm flying the Alias but with more power. I'm digging it. This thing is cool. And it's pretty much the perfect thing for me. I'm not an FPV guy, I'm not an aerial video guy. I like fast sport flying, and this is kind of the first brushless quad that's going for that market. I mean, it's always either FPV or aerial video. Nobody just does a sport quad. And so this kind of, you know, you can fly sporty in this form, or you can put the landing legs and gimbal on and do aerial video. So it's 2 quads in one. And the fact that they gave us automatic or automated stunts is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that. The backflip while going forward. Let's do a forward flip while going forward. Oh my gosh, this thing is cool. Barrel roll. Nice. I am digging it. Let's do that backflip while going forward again. That looked pretty cool. Nice. Diagonal flip. Let's kind of just get a hover going. Got a bit of a breeze out, but looks like it's drifting a little bit on me. Maybe because of the breeze. That's pretty stable though. Nice and quiet for a quad this size, not making a bunch of racket. I am digging it. Oh my gosh, I like this thing. I mean, for a maiden flight too, like I immediately feel comfortable just throwing this thing around. Usually with these bigger quads, I'm a little nervous on the first flight, and I like to get a feel for them before I do anything crazy. I mean, this thing, I'm immediately feeling locked into it, confident. I mean, like I said a bunch of times now, it feels just like flying my Alias, and that's my second favorite quad, so I am very familiar with flying that thing, and this feels like I'm flying that with more power. Very cool. Doesn't have the twister or whatever they called it, the rudder stunt where it would spin around. I just tried that and it didn't work, but they did say they're going to release headless mode for this, I imagine in a firmware update. So that may add that kind of stunt, since that requires headless mode to do that. But I'm not a big fan of headless mode. Wow, I am digging it. You know what, let's bring it in for landing real quick, and then let's change to, I think I need to, how do I disarm it? Alright, so you gotta be disarmed to change modes. There is some way to change modes in flight, but you gotta do a bunch of like stick combinations and stuff. Alright, so I'm in film mode now, so I wanted to give that a try. Oh, looks like GPS is doing something. Film mode has altitude hold, so where you just stay at center stick and it holds that altitude, and then your throttle just changes your altitude, so it's a little bit different style of flying. So I wanted to see how that altitude hold works. I don't know why there we go. Now my GPS is locked in. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and arm it. Take off. Now it goes to like 8 or 10 feet. I wanted to get it out from under the tree there. Alright, so I'm at middle stick now, so it's just holding that. I mean, that's completely hands off right there. I imagine that's using some sort of GPS positioning as well, because there isn't like a switch to turn on for GPS positioning, so I would imagine it's using that when in film mode. So we'll kind of get it back again. So there's hands off. It looks like that's holding a pretty good position. Yeah, wow, that's holding really nice and solid. I think that beeping, I'm not sure if that's from, yeah, I think that was because I was a little bit above middle stick. Wow, that's holding pretty solid there. That's doing really well. Alright. Okay, well I think I've showed all there is to show in this form. I'll be back with a, full detailed review, and I'll do a, camera version with some gimbal footage in that version. So I just wanted to do a little quick on the fly review there, just to get a sample of what it was like and get a, you know, a little early video out for everybody to see how it flies. And I would say this thing is a stunning success. I was having an absolute blast flying that thing in sport mode, and it just felt really nice. And then it also has an audio LVC warning from the transmitter, so when the battery gets low, the transmitter will beep at you, so that's pretty cool as well. But yeah, I think that was all there is to show. That's the Traxxas Aton, and like I said, I'll be back, you know, probably take me a month or so before I do all my, you know, full testing on it and get all my review details, but I will be back with a full detailed review at some point. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.